A few days ago, President Trump took the mic to brag about the progress that he had made in the first 100 days of his presidency. And he continued to perpetuate a narrative that he has done more in his first 100 days than any previous president had accomplished in their entire term. Which is interesting when you consider past presidents who have ended slavery, given women the right to vote, ended segregation, but sure. And as a result of this, hundreds and thousands of MAGA creators flooded social media and made the same claims and bragged about his report card. Of all the things that MAGA is currently saying on social media, there are two specifically that are most frequently used and most frequently incorrect. The first one is that we are saving billions and billions of dollars by no longer being involved in other countries' wars or in their defense. And whenever I see this, I really honestly want to bang my head against a wall or a table. In 2024, our defense budget was $892 billion. Trump has now proposed, and Pete Hegseth has confirmed, that our 2025 defense bill would be $1 trillion. And because of the state of our country, I do have to say this, $1 trillion is bigger than $892 billion. So why are we increasing our defense budget if we are no longer going to actively be involved in other countries' wars? First, we are investing a ton of money into building a Golden Dome, which is similar to the anti-missile defense system in Israel. Second, we are investing a ton of money into anti-defense programs in Asia. The defense budget proposes giving Boeing billions of dollars to develop a new fighter jet and an increase of $20 billion to Starlink and Starshield. And I don't have to remind you who owns Starlink and Starshield. It's also important to note that Donald Trump plans to add military personnel to the Air Force and to the Space Force. So even though we are going to allegedly no longer be actively involved in other global conflicts, we are certainly gearing up our defense for that to be the case. The drastic increase in defense spending in Asia particularly makes me wonder, would we have had to have done this if we were not actively in an economic war with China? The second biggest lie being perpetuated is that government spending has been controlled and reduced. Funny thing is that in the first quarter of 2025, government spending is actually $140 billion higher than it was in 2024. As a result of this inflated spending, we are now estimated to have a $1.3 trillion deficit by the end of the first half of 2025, which would be the second highest deficit increase in the history of our country in a 6-month period ever. The two biggest contributors to this increase are in heightened costs of Medicaid, Social Security, and Medicare, which Donald Trump has said repeatedly he is not going to touch. In fact, House Republicans and Senate Republicans have all said that there's no way that we can actually eliminate no tax on Social Security because it would lead to a $61 billion deficit for Social Security that could lead to insolvency. Budget for the Department of Homeland Security and Kristi Noem to be able to continually keep flying down to the border for photo ops has ballooned to $15 billion. Now, independent studies have said that this heightened expense has led to a drastic reduction in the number of undocumented immigrants attempting to enter the United States. So you can actually say that in this is actually working. But it also completely negates any claims that this administration is making that government spending is now reduced and under control, because we are not saving money right now. We are spending more. And even though Doge is currently claiming on their website that they have saved $160 billion in government spending this year, every single audit that has been done to actually see if this is factually accurate has said that these claims are false. This is why Elon Musk has effectively been saying for the past few weeks that $160 billion is probably where they are going to stop for this year, and he is also going back to Tesla to try and rescue the company. I hate to break it to Republicans, but if you say that you saved $100 in the month of April by cutting back on eating out and ordering in, and then you spend $160 on a new pair of Nike,